Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is the very first lecture that I will be presenting in a series to meet the requirements for my doctorate and PhD in quantum integrative medicine from Quantum University. Part of the requirement is to have a sign-in sheet with people's initials in order to get the credit for the presentation. So I ask that after you watch the video either partially or completely, please leave your initials and the amount of time that you watched in the comment below. This presentation is about what I learned, or a little bit of what I learned in the Neuroplasticity course. I chose this to be my first presentation because the whole concept, or part of the concept, of quantum integrative medicine is the potential of the individual to change for their best and healthiest life. So neuroplasticity is a great start to educate individuals because we are aware in order to change oneself, one must first change their mind. My goal is to give you something to think about. This course was based primarily on Dr. Joe Dispenza's life work and the information he shared in his books, which are You Are the Placebo, Becoming Supernatural, and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Dr. Dispenza is a chiropractor who was struck by a truck during a marathon and went against all his doctor's advice for surgery and decided to use the inherent healing potential the body has in order to heal himself. Dr. Dispenza's journey and study is giving him the knowledge and tools in order to help others to become who they truly wish to be. This quote from Dr. Dispenza is the concept and idea that the body becomes the master because it's the brain that is controlling the body, not the mind, and dictating the physical responses based on previous thoughts or previous emotions or previous feelings through one's individual experiences. The concept of neuroplasticity was first introduced over 100 years ago by William James. He suggested the concept of plasticity as the result of the formation of new connections between cortical neurons. Something to think about is the brain is the processor. So where does the software to process come from? In order to process, we need hardwiring in the brain. So we can see images of the cortical neuron, nerve cell, and brain cell. This is the hardware for the brain. It is the simplest functional unit of the nervous system. The cortical neurons have the ability to store and communicate information between each other. Want to create more neurons? Learn new things, have new experiences, create more joy and fun in your life. By learning new things, thinking new things, and doing new things, you are keeping the brain in an evolutionary state of changing and growing. This is an image of the synapse, the space between two neurons. It is the software for the brain. So when information is leaving one part and going into another part of the brain, it converts it into chemical signals in order for the information to leave or transport from one area to the other. This chemical transfer happens between the synapses. So what do you think happens when it's the same old thoughts and same old emotions that go through the neurons to the synapses? Do you think any changes occur? Are any new chemical signals made? No new information. So the opposite of neuroplasticity is neurorigidity. Think of the feeling of being stuck or stagnant. No new information. It's like having the same day over and over and over again. Neural rigidity means only using the brain's pre-wired synaptic connections, which are your memories, without making any new connections. You're never learning from experience or applying it to life. You're processing the same thoughts and to perform the same actions, expecting a different result. That's insane, right? So, what can bring about this change from rigidity to plasticity? In order for the brain to develop and evolve, it has to be changing and evolving. The terms are somatic and episodic memories. So, by creating somatic memories, you're learning new information, gaining new knowledge, and thinking philosophically. And episodic memories are having novel experiences, embracing new events in life. So, one is mental and the other is physical, hence the body mind connection. So, when a person is having a new experience, the hardware and the software have to change. They have to evolve in order to interpret the new information, and by doing so, it is evolving. But when you get up in the morning and you're doing the same thing every day in and day out, you are not evolving. You are not creating new neurons to help your brain or your mind or your spirit. Both the brain and mind are in the dark, doing the same thing. Both the brain and mind are in the dark, doing the same thing day in and day out. I say dark because you can do it without thinking or seeing or doing anything new. So, this type of person is the person that is not creative. They are subconsciously processing, not consciously filtering new information or new things. This is how one misses the synchronicities and divine connection in life. This person is always thinking in the box, which means this is the person that no matter what you do or say, their rebuttal is always the same. This never changes, that never changes. They never expect something new. They always bring up the past events or experiences and always determine that the present is only going to give you the same past outcomes. But if you're creative and you have insightful thinking because you're not limiting the outcome based on the past, then you are thinking outside the box. By thinking outside of the box, you're creating new neurons and new synapses with new information. So you are upgrading your brain with new hardware and software. So obviously, the brain has to use the neurons on a regular basis in order to maintain vitality and flexibility by learning new things and gaining new experiences. Notice I didn't say good or bad because each lesson is one to learn from in order to grow and change. Living in non-judgment is a whole other lecture. The body is the servant. It takes information from the brain and unconscious mind and processes it in order to function optimally. The brain is enclosed in a dark space. The only way to gather information is through the senses. But when the body first reacts based on past experiences, then it's controlling the mind. So when you start thinking of that friend who lied to you, and then your insides get all warm, but not in a good way, and then you start thinking about all of the other people who did you wrong, and then you're so angry you want to hit something, that's the body controlling the mind. It wants more of those feelings and thoughts because those neurons are wiring and firing. What has the potential to stop that way of thinking? The master, the mind. I say mind because it is through mindful awareness that one is able to decide and work hard at stopping or changing or redirecting those thoughts once they start. You are the only individual who has the potential to change for yourself. When we change our mindset, we can change our reality. How, you are hopefully asking? Through those new experiences and learning new things, being creative in that new endeavor, tapping into nature, listening to music, learning to observe your own thoughts rather than chasing them. And the best action is to meditate And the reasoning and science for this is in a whole other lecture. There are many ways to meditate. Typically, I ask people to just deep breathe. Doing belly breathing helps to calm the central nervous system to get out of fight or flight. When the body is in fight or flight, it has taken over in order for survival. This happens from that subconscious part of our brain, the one that helps us to breathe without thinking and to process our foods without thinking and keeps our organs functioning without thinking. So you have the first step. What will you decide to be? Plasticity or rigidity? I didn't cover the health differences, but I hope you can decide who may have less health issues. These are my references from Dr. Dispenza, who has done the work to find the facts and theories in order for us to learn, grow, and evolve. Hopefully you are interested in the information and would seek to learn more on the subject. I highly recommend his books, and he does have a YouTube channel and a website. And there are meditations found in YouTube or on YouTube called Heart Brain Coherence, which are phenomenal. So that would be a tool if you want to use that. Stay tuned for more videos. There is so much more to know, and I would love to share with you. Don't forget to put your initials and how long you watched. Until the next one, keep learning, thinking, doing, and being. Ciao for now.